Just a sec.
Who wants to go first? You did?
I think he's going to go.
Somebody said they were going. I think you're
lens.
Hmm?
The lens.
On the right side.
I'm going to second it.
Is the whole thing off?
The lens won't open. There you go. No.
Yeah, I'll start recording. On?
Yeah.
Before you go, let me remind you of one more thing so that you can focus your presentations now that I have seen them. Oh, he's taping you? Awesome. Practicality is what the major part of your grade is. So if it is not geared towards that as you're talking, if you tend to get off into like expert land, make sure that you're bringing it back down to where the average person can understand what you're saying and utilize the information.
How do I make this device work?
You've got to slide it, slide. There you go. Oh. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You're not going to get it totally perfect. It's
right.
painful.
All right. Okay. Steve, could you hit the lights? Why would it be the same button on Windows and Mac?
Because it doesn't love you.
How do I start this? I can't see the top of the screen.
Probably.
In the bottom left, there should be a little button to change the way you look at the slides.
Okay. Hi, I'm James of Estrus. I couldn't think of anything really good to do this oral presentation on, so I decided instead of presenting something that's just a bunch of facts that are boring, which if I only presented boring facts, it would be even harder to get you guys to stop texting and pay attention to what I'm saying. So I decided to just do something kind of funny, a little bit useful, very useful.
Very useful.
Yeah. So let's begin. A guide to creating good PowerPoint presentations, a presentation about presenting presentations, presented by James of Estrus, presentation presenter.
Do you want some canned left, or I can provide for
No, thank you. The top should say the rules of creating an effective PowerPoint presentation. Maintain an energetic tone.
Go ahead, talk. I'll fix it for you.
Okay. If you're talking like a really boring person, no matter what your PowerPoint's about, nobody's going to care, sadly. That's just a fact. If you keep talking, pretending to be happy about it like I am right now, you can at least maintain some illusion of being interesting. So it's always a plus. Keep the audience interested and involved. If you were smarter than me, you would have made some handouts to give people so they have something to hold while you talk into their ears. I didn't make any handouts because I don't have access to a printer in my dorm because of the recent carbon monoxide thing. Only provide relevant information. If you do something like talk about the carbon monoxide thing I just did, that doesn't have anything to do with the presentation. I don't know why I said any of that. Keep design simple but attractive, and don't use clip art. Note how the text isn't flying onto the screen, and there's not awesome images doing revolving door effects, because that's meaningless. There's no reason to ever do that.
That would have gotten you an A, though.
Don't take my rules so well. Here we are now.
Excellent.
Don't take my rules too seriously. I'm not a professor of PowerPoint. I don't.
You are
Don't.
today.
Thank you. Yeah, don't. Of course I use clip art because I'm not going to listen to my own crappy rules. If using clip art makes it a little more interesting, but not overly so, like this.
Well, at least it's kind of Mad Men style clip art.
Yes, that's true. There's another one with a yellow background of a man pointing at a graph, and he's going ah as the graph goes down.
I drew stick figures for my PowerPoint presentation, giving my sabbatical presentation with stick figures in it.
So that's the basic rules on making a good one. Here are the basic rules of making a bad one. Alternate between staring at a script and staring at your feet. Use just one font and just change the size. Don't rehearse anything. You've totally got it.
Or use apostrophes.
Don't use spell check. Nobody notices capitalization or punctuation anyway, so don't worry about it. Use lots of clip art and background images to mask your presentation's lack of content. Some clip art. Quick tips on looking smart. Wear a clean shirt with a collar. I'd look okay. Come on.
The collar doesn't?
Yeah. Well, if I didn't have a collar, I couldn't keep the microphone on.
Gotcha.
Use a clear, authoritative voice. But don't frighten people by shouting at them every single little detail about your presentation. It's not endearing, it's annoying. If you didn't do your research, make shit up and cite a fake website. Now, some teachers might not find this good, but it works. It worked a lot in high school, and it might work in a minute here. Because are you going to go through a works cited and look at every single website about somebody's presentation about outboard motors?
Not on a PowerPoint, it'd be impossible to do so.
Exactly. So I used the information on PowerPointPro.com for this.
I'm writing it down.
Okay.
On my phone.
Crap.
Not texting.
Never, ever use Wikipedia. Because it can be edited by anybody, according to most colleges and school districts, Wikipedia is not a reliable source of information. You can't believe everything you read on the internet. That's how World War I got started. Here's a chart. The 2010 paradigm shift. Here you'll see Synergy is doing really well. But the Web 2.0 presence in 2010, not so good. In a similar situation with revenue awareness, whatever that is. Oh, I did that wrong. That's dynamic streaming, obviously. That's revenue awareness. None of that means anything. No, those are all buzzwords, annoying buzzwords that executives will use to confuse you with their PowerPoints. Using charts, you can create the illusion of truth where none exists. Useful for clubbing the brain of the audience into submission through overwhelming confusion and sheer terror. Look how big that is.
It's like a Pac-Man.
It's like a Pac-Man eating Web 2.0 and dynamic streaming. It's horrifying.
Great.
You're not going to sit there and think, oh, I don't know if he checked his facts. You're going to sit there and think, I want that chart to go away. Graphs and charts are also useful for creating weak metaphors. For example, I don't know if you can all read this, but I made this up. Life is a lot like a pie. You can eat as much as you want if you let it cool down first. That stands up not even to cursory scrutiny. That doesn't mean anything. That's so obviously made up. But
I think it's pretty deep, man.
yeah, exactly. Like some pies.